All right, we are live. We're live, folks. We're live, 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 live. About time. Um, it doesn't get any better than to hear about a group of Foot Clan rejects, man. These wannabe Ninja Foot Clan rejects getting a dose of fucking reality, man. And it's about goddamn time. Yes, about goddamn time. Because when you look like a fucked up white kid with purple hair, pink hair, green hair, blue hair, and whose face looks like it got fucked by a porcupine. And it is funny because the thing is, Portland has been going through hell for a long time. And I have said this off and on over the last nearly 10 years. You Antifa fucks, you Antifa cunts, finally get a dose of reality, man. Finally get a dose of reality, man. About fucking time. And I'm saying this with such balls, but you good? And it 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 brings some good feeling that you Antifa bastards are finally getting a reality check. And what I mean by that is, I mean, you are finally getting a dose of what it's like to have your head shoved so far up your ass. I could probably write a whole entire SNL skit on this, man. Um, it's funny. It is funny. See here. Okay. Now, I want you really. What? Are you good? Huh? Are you good? Huh? You doing good? You want to be on YouTube? Huh? You want to be on YouTube? Okay, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Look at. All right. Been a while, huh? Been a while. Yeah. It's been a while since you were on YouTube. Look at this. Look at you. Look at you. Okay. Um, I've had um thoughts going through my head for the last few years, and like serious thoughts. And I've been wanting to share a thought, share a couple of thoughts Um, you know, there are so many people that are being so brain fogged over an ideology, and I mean like quite literally brain fog. Um, the thing is, it don't have to be in an area where somebody has to be assaulted, or it doesn't have to be where somebody has to get a serious beating for having a different idea or a different way of seeing the world, a different way of saying things, a different way of thinking, all that. Um, some of these young bastards and cunts are following an ideology that they think it'll be good for this country. Well, no, no, it will not. You um, so I did a comparison video a few years ago talking about the difference between Marxism, fascism, socialism, and communism, and even capitalism. And socialism, communism, and Marxism are the three things, including fascism, that will never ever work in a capitalist society. Because now communism got pretty heavy beginning around 1917. Okay, this was the time of the end of uh, the the Russian monarchy. That's the royal family still exists, but they have very limited power. And they have very, very, very limited power. Monarchies don't have that much power anyway because it's very limited, very, very limited. The royal family in England, their power is very limited as well because the monarchs of the golden age, they were heavily involved in everything, even war. Even war. Um, now, the understanding um, that when you look at these countries, you look at Islam, you look at Judea, Hindu, Buddhist, and here in the States you have Methodist, Catholic, Christian, uh, Protestant, Presbyterian, and Baptist, Mormon, and some religions can become a fundamental, like the Mormon fundamentalist, the Muslim fundamentalist, Christian fundamentalist. I mean, we're talking about straight up radicalization of Islam and Christianity and Mormonism and kind of like Jonestown, right? Jonestown, very militant. And a lot of these cults, they start to people they start to tell their followers about the end of days. David Koresh, for one, David Koresh. He talked about it. So did Jim Jones. So did others. Other cults. All that bullshit. And somehow this cults come from be be a well. These cults go from a straight kind of like going to church and being in class to learn the Bible, being taught the sermon, but ends up down the line, all of a sudden you see weapons, ammunition, all that shit, and they become Christian fundamentalist, Mormon fundamentalist, Islamic fundamentalist, all radicalized over the ideology. But whoever is doing it is they'll take a few parts from the Bible or the Quran, and they'll you have a page, right? A page, and they will take out, and they will be like, take this out, leave this here, there, good, and they'll twist the religion, so the Bible or the Quran so much that what they preach is what they preach nonstop to really get your mind fucked up. Okay, you look at Joseph Smith, right? Mormonism, right? Mormonism. Now, back then, uh, allegedly, you can marry more than one woman. Now, any smart guy be like, no, one woman is enough for one wife is enough for me. Okay, having a house full of women who has demon blood and it has to be drained about once a month. No. I'm good because all that shit will drive a guy drinking. Okay, if you marry more than one wife, and remember, I'm saying this to all guys who think, oh, dude, I'm gonna marry me 1,000 wives or 100 wives. Keep it down to one wife. Let me explain why. Okay. Number one, women are very territorial. They're like cats. They're like cats, right? They're like cats. They're very territorial when it comes to their men. Okay. Now, if you're a Muslim guy, right, and you marry, say, I'm gonna say 10. Okay, 10. And you're in the house, in your mind, the guy's like, dude, yes. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Oh, I got all the pussy in the world I want. But when they have demon blood where it has to be drained about once a month, and you're like, it doesn't say in the Bible or the Quran where my wife's demon blood has to be drained about once a month. Wait. Fuck. That's why, I mean, banging a few chicks I mean, you know, ha, um, banging a few broads here and there, but have them live with you and your first wife. It's like, I've seen sister wives, okay? When the first woman or the first wife sees her husband or boy or man brings in more women as sister wives or what do you call it, concubines. That woman could look at you as a guy like, what's this? What's this? I ain't good enough for you. But honey, you got demon blood, and it needs to be drained about once a month. Asshole, it's only 1 week out of the month, motherfucker. I gotta drain my demon blood 1 week out of the month. That's it, once a month. Even a week. You become this demonic evil. Ah. But yeah, you're bringing in more. Oh, no. One woman is okay. I'm happy with one woman. Okay, I mean, what comes to two women in the same bed? As as long as there's a discussion about it, over it, you know, beginning, middle, end, the finish, the grand finale, go. But again, I couldn't be a Muslim man because you know damn well it don't matter where you're from. Okay, don't matter. Women are very territorial. Okay, they will conspire. They would find a few allies, and they will try to, like, I don't know, but any smart guy would be like, I'll have only one woman, please. I'm okay with this demon draining her demonic blood about once a month. I'm good with that. But 10, no. 15, no. One woman's good enough for me, man. You know, but the thing is, I'm seeing this video of this guy. He has this rug in the other sidewalk, and he has a Quran in his hand. He's like trying to block people from passing him because he wants to convert them to Islam. Um, in this country, we have the freedom of religion of our choosing. If we choose to be, say, Methodist or Catholic, Presbyterian, Protestant, Mormon, Judea, Hindu, or Buddhist, or you know, or Islam, but it's a choice. Okay, we don't need anybody here. I'm gonna hand you this. I'm gonna convert you to this. Dude, you're lucky I don't take the Quran, roll it up into a little, roll it up, and shove it up your ass, or take the Bible, roll it up, and shove it up your ass. Okay, if I feel like I want to be, say, a Protestant or a Methodist or a Catholic or Presbyterian or a Buddhist or whatever, that's my choosing. That's my choosing. Okay, and the thing is, I would like to warn that guy who's blocking the sidewalk and forcing people to become Muslims. No. Look, in this country, we have the freedom of religion. Okay, religious freedom to choose what we want to be. Okay. Now the thing is, what I have is a very critical mind. If I have some critical thinking, I'm going to have that. Okay, I'm going to have that. And now, nothing against these religions. It's just that here's here's the thing: Islam will never ever rule the world. It will never ever rule the world. Tell you why? Because try that in India. Okay, you think your laws are strict? If you try to bow or pray in the middle of the street, you're gonna have a flock of Indian police, and they will beat you with kendo sticks. Okay, they will beat you with kendo sticks because they want you to move your ass on. They're like here in the States. They don't want you to block the road, okay? Because they will take a Kindle stick or any stick, and they will beat you black and blue. They don't give a fuck, okay? They don't give a fuck, you know. And there are countries that are pushing back against this bullshit, you know. And India is one of them. Russia, Spain, Ireland, you know, their countries, China, they're pushing back because thing is now Islam didn't come to exist until 600 years later. Now the thing is, if I choose to be a Christian, I'm gonna be a Christian, okay? And if you think that since I won't become a Muslim, I got to pay what, a 2% tax? Fuck that. No, not gonna do it. You know, because the thing is, I have the right to choose what religion I want to be part of. It's a choosing. Now they're gonna say like, no. We're going to force you. You're not going to force anybody, okay? Because the thing is, a human being has a human right, just like here, freedom, religious freedom, okay? Religious freedom. That's why I love the First Amendment, man. Religious freedom. Now, getting to the best news ever. Antifa, Antifa getting hit with a dose of reality, here, you know. Now, first and foremost, I know for a fact that I'll be getting some negative feedbacks, maybe some comments, you know. That's fine. But the thing is, Antifa isn't just an ideology. It's an organization that has different chapters across the country, you know, also across the globe as well. Ireland, the UK, you name it, you know. Antifa, the way they are, okay. If you wanted to have a dialogue, right? Just little powwow, you know, just little conversation. They love calling you a fascist. even though they have no idea what it is, right? Or calling you a Nazi. Today, I'm going to punch a Nazi. Yeah, but the thing is, you don't know what a Nazi is, asshole. You only get what you assume, man. Shit. Now, if I go to Portland, spend about, say, an hour, sit down and kind of check shit out, I know for a fact I will have a couple of bozos come up to me and say, "What are you doing here, Nazi?" Wow, really? And you're the ones are pushing the Nazi shit, aren't you, you bastard? Because there's a picture side by side, color and black and white, of the Nazi flag. Okay, the anti-fashionistas flag. One in color, one in black and white. And it's the same fucking flag, right? Now, they're calling people Nazis, but aren't their actions are just like the Nazi brown shirts and the Italian black shirts of the 1970s? I mean, think about it. The Italian black shirts and the Nazi brown shirts act the same fucking way. So, if you take the time to really stop and think about it for a moment, Antifa, which the thing is, they're anti-fascist, right? What was Mussolini? He was a fascist, right? What was Hitler? Nationalist, socialist. Now, him and Mussolini were good buddies. One's a socialist, one's a fascist. Only issue they got was Stalin. Why? Because Stalin's a communist, right? He's a communist. I thought that socialism, fascism, and communism was pretty much the same fucking thing almost, you know. But then, with all three together, you have Marxism. I mean, if you really think about it, you know, they're what, pushing a socialist ideology while they're communist, anarcho communist. Really, dude? Anarcho communist means anarchist of communist thing. I mean, if you really think about it. But the good news is the National Guard is really hitting Antifa, which is basically really a Marxist organization. Really, all their shit is following the Italian black shirts, the Nazi brown shirts. Um, they're pretty much following the Nazi. Antifa is pretty much following a Nazi ideology. Really, think about it. They're not communists, right? They're socialists. They're socialists, and they're anti-free speech, which means that if we want to say, like, I'm at a coffee shop with a coffee and a Danish, and I want to pray to God for thanking God for, you know with a nice warm cup of coffee and a Danish, and I pray, you know, would I get attacked by them? Because I'm praying before I have my cup of coffee in Danish. Because if you remember, a few years ago, they attacked a, a couple of people who were praying before lunch, and they just ran up and started beating them, and like why would you do that? Why would you attack some people that are praying at a table before they have their lunch, right? Now, recently, there were three guys that were arrested for shooting a guy who's on the ground and he's praying, and they shot him. I mean, it's like you shot a coach. Thank God he's still alive. Okay, so these three guys of Muslim Islamic background, they got up and they shot the guy. Lucky he's alive. My question is, why shoot the guy? Did he antagonize you? Did he say anything to you? Absolutely not. You got pissed off because the guy was praying to God and not fucking Allah. Who's a who's a pedophile, by the way? Who's a pedophile, by the way? Yeah, Allah's a pedophile, by the way. He's he's not really a deity like God. He's a prophet, a false prophet, by the way. Then you have Buddha. Buddha's not a prophet. He's not a deity. Now, India, they have Krishna. Um, Now, my question is, what would happen to somebody who's of Indian descent from India prays to Krishna, blue skin, black hair, 8-arm female deity, if they pray to her, would a man of Muslim faith attack this guy, this person? Because if you pray to God, you get attacked, right? Now, what happened if you prayed to Buddha? Pray to Buddha or Krishna, because Buddhism and Hinduism kind of coexist a little bit, pretty much, because it's about peace and enlightenment, peace. But it seems that only religion that claims but doesn't back up its claim. Oh, we're peaceful. We're peaceful. If you say you're peaceful, your religion's peaceful. So why does the flag of Saudi Arabia has two swords, right? Two swords. They're called scimitars, right? A scimitar. There's nothing in the Quran that says anything about peace, or does it? I don't know. If you want to talk about peace, what about Buddhism and Hinduism, or a Sikh? A Sikh. Sikh ain't Muslim, right? Hinduism ain't Muslim, ain't Islam. Buddhism ain't Islam. Sikh ain't Islam, right? Now, any any sensible minded individual will see the difference. Buddhism, yeah, Buddha, right? Buddha. Hinduism, you got Krishna, okay, in India. Yeah. Now, what's Sikh? What's the Sikh's deity? The deity of the Sikh religion? You know, I cannot say because even I don't know. And then you have religion in Greek. In Greek, right? Greek, because each religion has a different version of Jesus and God, right? But there's only one Almighty God. Because okay, Buddha, he's in a tomb, right? Joseph Smith, he's in a tomb, right? Allah, he's in a tomb. Now, Jesus, the God, one Almighty, Almighty God, right? Well, Almighty God is Krishna. Is she a deity or like is she like Buddha? Is she like uh Joseph Smith? Right? Is she like you know? Because most of them have a tomb. They're buried in a tomb, you know. And if anybody sees this video, I hope you leave a positive comment, a very positive comment where we could respond civilly, you know, and with respect. Okay, with respect. Now, if if you say that Islam is of peace, okay, here's my question on this one, and I'm going to be straightforward with this question. What part of the Quran that deals with peace? And also, which part of the Quran that deals with beheading non-believers, right? They say, "Oh, we're of peace." How can you say that? Because within the last 10 years, there's been footage online of people getting beheaded. Like, how can you say you're of peace when you see a moron with heads on just despite on a fence, a you know on a metal on a metal fence, you know, and you got one guy wearing he's holding two heads, right? So I would say you're a hypocrite, all right? You are a hypocrite. You're not of peace because your book has you so mentally fucked up is that a whole entire region of the world is controlled by one book, and that book they use it as the law, call it Sharia. Now, Sharia law will not work here. Okay, we have laws. Okay, we have laws, right? You cannot be bringing your laws here. Okay, because we have laws on the books that will probably work better than what you have in your fucking book. Okay, because your book, you're using the book like it's the law. It's like Allah is the judge, jury, and executioner. No, he's not. He's a crazy man. He's a a crazy man who's a pedophile who wants all his loyal followers to kill infidels and behead the non-believers. But how can you say your religion is of peace? See, the thing is, I will always follow Jesus Christ. I will always follow the Almighty God because he's the only one true God. I will always pray to Jesus Christ and worship God. See, Christianity's been around a lot longer than Islam. Okay, Islam came around 600 years after. Okay, now we have idiots in this country that are have just really lost their fucking minds about we're here for Hamas. No, you're not. You're here to be stupid because you don't really know what's going on over there, right? Now, again, Benjamin Netanyahu, this fucking clown, right? He's a fucking clown. Look, I have no problem with Palestinians. I don't. I had no problem with real Jews, not the Israel state of Israel version, because those guys are fucking idiots, you know. Real Jews, Orthodox, and Palestinians that just want to live in peace and be left alone. No. Hamas needs to leave Gaza. Netanyahu needs to leave Gaza alone. Leave the Gaza Strip as is. They're going to need to be a war over it because the Gaza Strip is just a strip, okay? Netanyahu, you Polish bastard, okay? Who's not really full-blooded Jewish. He's half Polish, his mom's Jewish. It's like Hitler, his dad is Jewish and his mom's Austrian, right? Now, the the one thing that does bug me, and I'll say it, you know, I'll say it. You got this dumbass mayor in Dearborn, Michigan, trying to convert the whole entire city to Islam. Um, Motherfucker, you're in the United States of America, dude. Okay, you are in the United States of America. Okay, where we have religious freedom under the First Amendment. Okay. Now, if I was that minister, and you tell me that I'll belong in Dearborn, see, I got the balls to say it in your face. You could go fuck yourself, mayor of Dearborn, Michigan. You could go fuck yourself. See, the thing is, you have no idea that you could get recalled at any time. Someone can create a petition to have you recalled because you want to push you want to force the entire town of Dearborn to be Islam? No, no. Now, if that was now, if I heard your little horn, if I fucking morning, I would climb your building, take the horn thing, and just break it off and just throw it in the river. Because nobody wants to hear a goddamn horn at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. That's what I would do. You know, this is America, man. This isn't the Middle East, dude. This is America. You know, land of the free, home of the brave, man. You know, yeah. I mean, nothing against you personally, but the thing is, it's your fucking character that's an insult to humanity, man. You know, you can sit there all arrogant all you want, but if you tell me that shit, dude, I would tell you to fuck off. Okay, fuck off. Because if you were mayor in Fresno, dude, we would recall you from your seat so fast you wish you never came to California. All right, because I tell you what, things are changing, man. Zoran Mandani, whatever his name is. This dude is not going to be mayor, man. He will never be mayor. I want to give a little advice to both Mayor of Dearborn and Minneapolis. Your time as mayor is limited, okay? Because for the past 2 years, there's a little mayor in Dalton who fucked up, who really fucked up. She did. Because she let the power go to her head. Now, you two dumb fucks look like you're going to let the power get to your fucking head. And you think you're going to force things on people? Nah, no. Because there will be a huge resistance to your power as mayors and shit. Because look, they can have you recalled, right? Have you recalled, and the thing is, you have to follow the law, even as mayor. Just as if you were a governor or a senator or a member of Congress, you have to follow the law. Okay, you cannot do what you want to do. Okay, by raising minimum wage to $50 an hour, that's the stupidest thing ever heard. No, but here's the thing: the state will tell you that if you want to, see, the thing is, they're going to strike it down. The governor's going to strike it down. Yeah. Now, the mayor Dearborn, your time is limited. I'm saying is, you're going to be pushing people to a point where they're going to have a rally and protest to remove your arrogant, stupid ass. And they're going to make sure that your little horn on your little building is gone. It's gone. Okay. Because Nobody wants to hear a fucking horn at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, I would climb the bill. I would find the biggest ladder, climb it, and just rip off that fucking blue horn and just chuck it at somebody. Because nobody wants to hear a fucking horn at 5 a.m. Okay? Why not? Now, I know for a fact that I'll be getting some comments. I don't care. If you're offended, I don't care. If you're upset about it, I don't care. Okay? My thing is, look, Antifa, I hope the reality check you get is like a giant boot up your ass. Okay? Now, we all have to really open our eyes and ears and our minds before we open our mouth. Our eyes, ears, and mind, once they're open, we all realize we're all getting fucked with. Okay? We're all getting fucked with, you know. And we're hearing more shit about the alleged shooter of assassin of Charlie Kirk. We're hearing more shit from we're hearing more shit from Candace Owens, and I don't know what's up with this shit about Erica Kirk. You know, somebody on TikTok came out with some dumb shit where the reason that Erica Kirk banned Candace Owens because she thinks that that Charlie and Candace Owens had an affair. No, no, I don't think that's it. Yeah. Now the thing is, now if that ever happened, Erica Kirk would take Charlie for everything he has, and then some. You know, and plus, it would give Charlie Kirk a social black eye because he's preaching about God and he's like God and the family, you know, all that shit. Now, if that was true, then there'd be a lot of backlash headed his way, and people would feel like they've been duped. Okay, so do I believe that? No, I don't. Okay, no, I don't. Um, Now the thing is, um, there's a lot of shit, a lot of rumors that really are uncalled for and not good. You know, I mean, it shouldn't be brought up. The thing is, a lot of you cocksuckers out there are speaking ill of the dead. I mean, Ilhan Omar, that fucking bitch, man, talking shit on Charlie Kirk's after he died, dude. That right there is a um, she needs to be removed and deported. So smart thing to do for her is for her to step down or resign or whatever and pack up and fucking leave. Just fucking leave, you know. Because the thing is, you have people that of Jewish faith, like the Orthodox, you know, that don't follow the state of Israel. That bullshit. They're straight up old school Jewish, old school Judea. Okay, old school Judea, classic Judea. You know, The Judea that's in the state of Israel are nothing more than a bunch of Zionists, controlled by Zionists. And Netanyahu is a Zionist Jew. He's a Zionist, and he took part in the assassination of the former prime minister in 1995. And he was the one wearing either the blue or green shirt, you know. And I just like to see some peace, man. You know, just some peace. You know. Um, you know. All right, folks. My name is Reverend Ordo, spelled REVANORDO. My name is Reverend Ordo, and this has been the Anonymous Mando'Ade Network. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, like, comment below, hit the bell for notification, and always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. Peace out. Buddha Godspeed. Buddha bless.